the GOAT conversation, it stays in the comments and stays on the minds of people all the time.
And just to start this right now, we're not going to have the conversation. But
yeah.
Go ahead, D-Lo. Go ahead, D-Lo.
Now we're not going to talk about who is the GOAT.
Right.
We're going to talk about a person that wants to be in the conversation of being the GOAT. So Kevin Durant wants more respect being put on his name when it pertains to the sport of basketball. When asked why he isn't widely involved in the GOAT conversation, Durant responded with a question of his own. Why shouldn't I be?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question you should ask. Why not? What haven't I done? So Sticks, what class? I got two questions that I had. We had one question for it. I came up with another question. What classifies a person to be the GOAT is the first question. Should KD be included in the GOAT conversation?
So to answer your first question, the classification of the greatest of all time, there are so many conversations about what classifies you being in this conversation. There's so many standards that classify this conversation. My problem is that a lot of these conversations, the people who are having them are not being consistent in their conversation. So you can go the stat route. You can go that route. You can go accolades. You can go the effect that they had on the game of basketball. You can go so many different routes with the GOAT conversation. My problem is that you just got to be consistent. When you pick a side, stay on that side, right?
Yep.
So I was watching Gilbert Arenas podcast. I was watching No Chill Gil.
We gonna say the same thing.
We probably are. I was watching No Chill Gil, and he had Rashad McCants, and he had why am I drawing a blank on buddy name? Who else was it?
Kenyon Martin.
It wasn't Kenyon Martin in this one that I watched. It was Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings. It was Brandon Jennings. So the conversation went in every direction that I just named. It went from to the effect on the culture, the what you had on the culture. It went to accolades. It went to stats. And whenever you have it, like I said, whenever you have in this conversation, you have to stick with a side. So Rashad McCants started off by talking about Jordan being low key, talking about him being sexy. Low key, he was the cute the handsome black guy that had the earrings and the necklaces, and he was just the face of basketball and yada yada yada. Then Kendall Gill, I'm not talking about Kendall Gill. We talking about we singing in this motherfucker now. Then Gilbert Arenas was talking about
Kendall Gill played basketball.
Who am I thinking about this? Who am I talking
about? Johnny Gill.
Johnny Gill. Johnny Gill. Come on, bro. Hey, again, players fuck up. Players fuck up. But look, I'm all over the place. But listen, but Gilbert Arenas was talking about stats. And then at first, Brandon Jennings didn't even want to get in the conversation. I ain't having the conversation. I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
But then whenever Gilbert Arenas started spitting out stats, now all of a sudden Rashad McCants want to get in the stats conversation. Bro, like what is it? Is it his effect on the culture? Is it stats? What is it? So when you're talking about the GOAT, and I agree with what Gilbert Arenas said in his podcast, that when you talk about the GOAT, it's got to be two chasing one. If you're not in them top two, you're not in the conversation. I agree with that. Because if you are LeBron chasing Mike, they're in the conversation. If you're not there, then you're not there. So I think that in my mind, how I talk about the GOAT conversation, to me, is I don't even want to say, bro, because people going to be in the comment section. I don't really even care. But to me, it's you have to, to me, it's accolades, but how can I say this without sounding crazy? To me, it's accolades, but in some way you do have to add in that team aspect to it because you were a part of the team that won these championships. So, and we're not having a debate, but that's kind of where I take my conversation when I'm talking about the GOAT. To answer the second question, since I agree with Gilbert Arenas, then no, he's not in the conversation. He's not.
Yeah.
But there are even more people that are chasing number 2 before Kevin Durant even gets there. So I don't agree that he needs to be in the conversation. Now, he does have a pretty good resume. He's a 2-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 14-time All-Star, 6-time NBA all NBA first team, 4-time second team, 4-time scoring champion. He's done a lot. He's a gold medalist in the Olympics. He's done a lot for the game. He does have a really good resume, but is he number 2? I don't think he's even close. But that's just my personal opinion. What you think?
Yeah. So when it comes to what classifies you as a GOAT, I don't know what classifies one as the GOAT anymore, because there, like you said, there's so many different directions that people go, and there's so many times that the goalpost has been moved as to what the GOAT is. And I think the reason I think that is because we look at people that we believe to be very knowledgeable about the sport, whether they played it or they've been covering it for so long. We look at them and we listen to them, and they use their emotions to come up with why this person should be considered a GOAT or in the GOAT conversation, rather than their logic and
rather than facts. Yeah,
right. Since we listen to them, it skews the views of most individuals, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you listen to people talk, it's stuff that they've heard. Whoever, insert name that's on TV or on podcast about what the GOAT conversation is. Case in point, you were talking about Gilbert Arenas and Rashad McCants. Just so happened it was a different podcast. On this podcast, Kenyon Martin was on there, right? And Gilbert was trying to they were having the GOAT conversation, and Rashad McCants was responding to Stephen A. Smith talking about something with Kobe and how Kobe can't be in the GOAT conversation anymore.
I saw that one too, I think. Yeah.
He puts LeBron over, and Rashad was responding saying how he doesn't even, if we're talking about the GOAT from here on out, he's not even going to consider Jordan and Kobe to be in the GOAT conversation, because they're just those guys. Like they don't even, you can't even reference them anymore. Like, so now we're going to talk about something completely different. But it moved away from stats and was just who is the better player, skill, who had the better skills. And so to me, that's like, if we're talking about who is the best player, who is the GOAT, and we're going to talk about just their overall skills, if we're talking about just skills, how do you determine who the best player is without including stats? Because if that's the case, then the best player, the GOAT, probably never played in the NBA. They probably was in Rutgers somewhere. You know what I mean? So like, for me, we gotta come up with some standards or something that defines what can get you in, at least get you in the gate for being a GOAT, right? And then from there, base it off of all of that. Okay, based off of this, these persons are in this GOAT conversation. Now, out of them, who is the GOAT? And then from there,
there's never going
to move.
The goalpost is always going to move. There's never going to be a there's never going to be a set checklist. Okay, they check all of these boxes, then they deserve to be in the conversation. But then when you check all of these boxes, which person's personal achievements is better? So like, if you can go and say, okay, I'm looking at these two people check all of these boxes. Boom, boom, boom. All these boxes are checked. Okay, now which one had more? Which one achieved more? And you can always look at that, whether it's Mike, whether it's Kobe, whether it's LeBron, whether it's Shaq, whether it's whoever they putting up here in these top 3 or 4 people that's having this conversation. Then we have to figure out how to keep the goalposts stationary. Nigga, like stop moving this motherfucker, because the GOAT conversation is never going to end as long as there's no set boundary for what it is. Like what constitutes the GOAT. And bro, it's never gonna stop. It's never gonna stop. It's insane.
Yeah. So for me at this point, I think people are just finding any little detail that they can to promote or demote people as being the GOAT. And so for me, I have no idea what classifies somebody as the GOAT, and the goalpost is forever moving. As far as Kevin Durant is concerned, when you look at his stats specifically, I'm going to say no. Mm-hmm. And I think KD is a great player. I love watching KD.
I love watching KD play too.
He's been top in the league since he's come into the league, right? But nobody, and he said this, and it's some validity in it. If you remove the Golden State championships, what does he have? Mm-hmm. Right? And I know 100 years from now, when he's no longer here, when Bron's no longer here, Jordan's no longer here, you look at their stats side by side, you don't know who did what or who was a part of what team and this and that. Nobody's really going to care. It's going to be like, oh, he had a great career. But since we're living in it right now, everybody's going to look at KD and say he can't do it by himself. He had to go to the winningest team of in a single year to get him a championship, and the team that just beat him. So I mean, he does have great individual stats. You know, the 4-time scoring champion. I don't even think I looked it up. But I don't think, how many times was Jordan scoring champion?
Let's go look.
I know Bron's only been scoring champion once.
Let's go look.
Kobe's been scoring champion twice. So, he's been 4-time scoring champion, 3 Olympics, 2 finals MVPs, league MVP, rookie of the year. Kobe was not a rookie of the year.
Michael Jordan has won the most scoring titles with 10.
10. Okay. So, I mean, and this is why, and so for me, this is why I always say
7 in a row. God.
This is why I always say 1A, 1B with him and LeBron. And we're not going to have that conversation right now.
No, we're not.
But because you to be the scoring champion 10 times
in 7 times in a row,
and he played what, 13 years? So 10 years he was a scoring champion. I mean, what? No, what's that percentage wise? 13.
That's like about 80%. 76%. Close to it. Yeah, almost 80%.
Yeah, 76% of his time in the league, he was scoring champion. I mean,
Jordan played 15. Jordan played 15 seasons. He played 2 with Washington, but
okay, so 15 seasons, and he was a scoring champion 10 times.
10 times
says a lot.
It says a whole lot.
Yeah. So for me, I can't say based off of his stats that he is a GOAT, right? Mm-hmm. But you look at his impact, and that could be a different conversation, because before KD came in the league, somebody his size, I know he classifies himself as a small forward, and he's 6'10", 6'11". The brother is 7 feet tall, handling the ball, shooting the way he does. That was unheard of. Mm-hmm. Now we have Giannis doing it. Now we have Wemby doing it. Chet's doing it. We have all these taller, slim guys in the league that can handle the ball, shoot like a point guard, and that's because of KD. So he has had an impact on the game, and his cement is still wet. Stephen A. Smith likes to say it all the time. His cement is still wet, so he can put himself in a conversation, but he has a ways to go, because there are people in front of him. Steph is in that conversation because of his contributions to the Golden State franchise, because of his shooting ability. So I mean, I'm gonna say no.
I'm saying no too.
He still has time to write his own history if he can win the championship by himself. If he can get another MVP, that's another reason why Steph isn't. For me, this is a reason why Steph can't truly be in the conversation, and why I know we love Kobe, but why Kobe can't truly be in the conversation. They only have 1 league MVP. While they are great players, they only have 1 league MVP.
Well, Steph got 2.
Steph only has.
Steph got 2. I thought. Steph got 2. I thought.
Fault.
Yeah,
you're right.
He won back to back and he got 1 unanimous.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're right. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Kobe only has one. He has 2 Finals MVP. Steph only has 1 Finals MVP. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Steph only has 1 Finals MVP. So that's just like you only got 1 Finals MVP. I won 4, and you the best player on your team, supposedly.
Yeah.
So I mean, not to go off on a tangent, but I just for KD, I can't see it, but statistically, but he does have an impact. So it's like.
I mean, Steph, you let Iguodala take it.
We know that was he should have got that one. That one he should have.
He should have. He should have. But it's just crazy, man. Because I mean, if we were to look at it, like he still has, like you said, he still has some his cement is still wet, but he got a long way to go stat wise to pass a lot of people that's above him. Yeah. So like. If we talk about stats, he got a ways to go, and he's in his what year is this for KD? 17th year, 16th year. He's in his 15th year in the league, and
he was 6 years behind Bron. That don't seem right.
It says years experience 15 right here on my screen right now.
That don't seem right.
2007 pick 2.
So that's 4 years. Bron's in his 21st year, right?
So this LeBron is in his 20th year. 20th year. This is his 20th year. Because LeBron came in at 03.
Right.
So this is the 2023-24 season.
This is Bron's 21st year.
No, it's his 20th year. He came in at 03. He came in at 03-04. This is 23-24.
I'm pretty certain this is Bron's 21st year, and he's been to the All-Star game 20 times. He didn't go his rookie year.
20 years experience.
Then
his first year was 03-04. This is 23-24. So this is his 20th year.
Why does he say 21st year? Go to his
I'm on NBA.com.
Yeah, but so he don't even know how long he been in the league. That's crazy.
This is insane.
But this is his 20th year. He just said 21st year.
03, round 1, pick 1.
I know. I'm just saying. But that don't make sense though. To me, how is he in his? You're right. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, because you got to look at it as the season goes over a span of 2 years. His first year was 2003-2004. This is year 2023-2024.
No, I'm not talking about Bron anymore.
Oh, got you.
KD is in his 15th year.
15th year.
But he came out in 07. That's 4 years from 03 to
True shit. So this might, true shit. But looking at stats though, like he got some ways to go, especially to catch LeBron if you talk about points, because LeBron probably gonna end up with 42,000 points before he done.
That is fucking crazy.
It's insane, ain't it? And then, but Kevin Durant is literally 12,000 points behind him right now. So like you have a ways to go, especially if he's still putting numbers on that. He gonna end this season with 40,000. So. Because he had 39,668 right now. So it's like, bro, you have a ways to go to catch niggas. So like, is he in the conversation? Nah, not to me personally. But I mean, but he has a reason to say what he says, given the accolades that he has done. But is he a Hall of Famer? Absolutely. But is he the GOAT? Nah, he not.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like we said with Steph, when he said that he was the best point guard of all time, what else is he supposed to say?
Exactly.
Especially playing how he's been playing forever since he's been in the league. KD,
yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna say, why am I not in the GOAT conversation?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes sense.
So Sticks, I'm still gonna research because I know Bron said he been in the league 21 years.
Man, that nigga Bron slow.
He wants to go straight to the fans for getting him into the All-Star game 20 times because he didn't go his rookie year. I know he didn't go. He
ain't go to college, man. He can't add for real. I'm just playing. Oh, y'all still here. So that must mean you love the content. And if that is the case, there's a video on the screen right here. Go ahead and click that, view that. We think you're going to love that one as well. And we still have our 600 subscriber goal. So there's a button on the screen right here. Go ahead and click that to subscribe to the channel. And we're on all your streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcasts.